You know, when you come into a home and you see it's all put together, usually the reason it looks so great is in the details, the small things that you can do. One of my favorite detail items is wainscoting. You know, where you put up like a beadboard or a batten and board system to kind of add some texture and a unique flair to a particular room. Well, today, that's what we're going to talk about. My old friend Jim Sullivan from Tate Enterprises is working on a project, and we're going to show you exactly what it takes to add some charm into your home. All right, it's time for a break, my friend. How are you? Nice to see you.
Good to see you again.
Let's talk a little bit about wainscoting and kind of what that term means.
It's basically a wall treatment, and you've got beadboard as one style, flat panels another style, raised panels another style. This is a flat panel style here that we're doing here with a multiple trim. We're using a combination of 1/4-inch MDF for the panels, and then we're also using poplar for the trim.
You'll notice, I mean, there's the nail holes obviously and some gaps here, but because this is going to get painted and caulked, it's going to paint up really nicely.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that the nice thing about all these materials, you know, we're in a dining room here, and the other nice thing about this is that it's actually a really hard wood. Unlike a pine or something like that, you bump a chair into here, it's less likely to gouge.
Right. All right, so can I give you a hand and finish up doing this other stuff over here?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a whole dining room to do.
All right, let's get it. So the layout is really important when it comes to doing wainscoting. Remember, it's always easier to move a line than it is boards. And that level line that goes around the perimeter is very critical because homes are not square and level, but your wainscoting that you're going to be looking at needs to be. We've checked all the measurements of these vertical boards and they're right on the money. But see this gap here? Well, this is obviously a natural board and it kind of waves up and down, so what can happen is when it gets nailed, we can actually pull down on this to get it secured and hold in place. Because we're painting it, it's a little bit more forgiving, right? We can caulk it, finish it all off, and when it's all done, you'll never know.
That's of course going to be covered with the flat panel, but the thing is securing right now, you're nailing in the drywall, so really what's really going to hold this together is the glue that we're using.
Glue, right, yeah. That's going to look nice.
Yeah.
This is a gallon of goop. What are you doing with this?
This is adhesive. What we have here is we want to glue these panels to the wall.
Obviously, people think of liquid nails in a caulk tube, but the downside to that with these panels, you were saying, is that you get a couple beads of caulk, then it can be uneven on the wall.
Yeah, it can. What happens is the bead of caulk is, you know, 1/4 inch thick.
Right.
And when you go slap it on the wall, you could get some waves in it from just the glue itself. And you also get some hollow spots in there. When you knock on the wall, it sounds like it's not connected.
So you're almost treating this like a gigantic piece of tile.
Yeah, yeah. It's a tile, putting a big piece of tile on the wall.
Nothing can slow a project down like having a bunch of cameras in a room. So I'm going to get out of the way so Jim and his crew can get this job finished up, and I know it's going to look great.